Welcome to this new edition of News You Can Use. I'm your host, Thera Martin. Today on the program, we are shining the spotlight on a local African-American woman-owned business. It's called WellZone Medical Weight Loss Clinic. They're at 6643 Chew Avenue in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. And the best news is they are both graduates, proud graduates of LaSalle University. We will be shining the spotlight on them throughout the program today. We'll be back and we'll get started in just a moment. Thera Martin with you on this edition of News You Can Use.
Very much good to have you.
Wow.
Good to see you.
It is good to see you, but you didn't say that. You said you can use Rebooted. I'm Thera Martin, and I am glad to be back at LaSalle TV. I am excited about the show today. We're going to talk about weight loss and how we get it done. I've lost, I don't know, about 30, 35 pounds, give or take, and I'm going to tell you how I did it today on the program. But right now, let me say welcome to Jade, Lee. We're glad to have you here with us, and Hafisa Salam. Thank you, both of you, for being here on the program.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. It was a blessing for me to have the opportunity to meet you. It was my daughter, Danielle Martin, who told me about this Black-owned, women-owned business, I want to say almost 2 years ago. And I was still living in North Carolina at the time, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to meet him one day. And I would come home and pop into Philly back and forth when I could, but I never got over there to see you. It was about a year ago. I finally got hip to the good things happening at the corner of 6643 Chew Avenue. Now, before we talk about your weight loss clinic, your medical weight loss clinic, I'd like a little bit of from each of you about how you got to where you are today, how you became partners in this business, and being students at LaSalle at some point in time. So let's start with you, Jade.
All right, I'll try to keep it brief because it was a journey. So initially, I got my undergraduate degree at Temple University, worked in a variety of institutions throughout the city, be it community health, community hospitals, pediatrics, corrections.
So you started in nursing?
Started in nursing,
Okay.
undergrad. Spent a lot of my time at Hospital University of Pennsylvania when I decided I wanted to go back to school to become a nurse practitioner, not knowing what I truly wanted to do, but I wanted to get that advanced degree in order to be more autonomous.
Yeah. And so then you chose LaSalle.
Chose LaSalle University. It took me about 3 years to complete the family health, family nurse practitioner track because I did it part-time while still working part-time as a nurse at Hospital University of Penn. And throughout the studies at LaSalle and the clinical experiences, I started to try to figure out if I wanted to go on primary care, specialty, and still just kind of tried to figure it out along the way. Began working at 3 local primary care facilities and then 1 specialty clinic. Each job I had closed for some reason.
Wow.
And I think that reason, sometimes doors are closing
Yes.
because it's leading you to your next journey. And sometimes you just need that extra push.
Yes.
So Hafiza and I, and she'll tell you her story, but we actually went all through school together, worked maybe many of our jobs together.
Okay.
And we kept coming back to the underlying message that we wanted to do more. We wanted to not just be hidden behind the face of an organization, and we wanted to be pillars in the community.
Yeah.
Spent some time working in medical weight loss and found that I loved it and wanted to get more education.
All right, I love it. Now, before we go to Hafisa and some of her story, you were a single mom. I know about being a single mom. Whew, it's not easy to still be going after your vision and your dreams, your career, and being a single mom and trying to be a good mom and juggling all of that. But you did that too, and I want folks to hear just a little piece of that for encouragement for any woman out there who is a single mom and juggling things and wondering, can I make it? Can I still fulfill my dreams? Yes, you can.
I was a single mom, yes. I was 14 years old when I gave birth to my first child. I was actually a 9th grade student at a very prestigious school in the city, in Masterman High School. And you can't do anything without support.
Yes.
I had a lot of family support.
Amen to that.
I had a lot of support from my academic advisors back then. And I also knew that I was always a straight A student. I wanted to continue to persevere and continue to excel and succeed. So I used those supports to my advantage and continued to work hard.
And look
and
at you
then it
now.
led to all that I explained.
Look at you now. Look at you now. So Hafisa Salam, and we're so glad to have you here too with your business partner. So now I've heard the part of the story where you went to school together here
Yes,
at
we did.
LaSalle University. So you were friends already. And then
Yes.
you worked together on different job sites.
Yes, actually, Temple is where Jade and I met, and we both had young children, and I think that was one of the pieces that kind of bridged our coming together. We were the minority, so in being the minority, we we had to see each other through, and we were each other's support in trying to figure it out. Being young, being young mothers as well. I had a child pretty early, and it wasn't an easy ride whatsoever, but definitely had great people around me to kind of push me forward.
Yeah.
And I want to say I went into University of Penn. I worked there for some time. I worked at CFCF a little bit. I did some work in home care. And then I realized that I wanted to do more, for one, but when I decided to go back to LaSalle, I had just given birth to a son. I have 6 children. And I knew that I wanted to be more at home.
Yes.
I didn't want to spend 12 hours at the bedside.
Right.
I wanted to be, I always wanted to be a good mother. So in being a good mother, my presence was definitely required. I went to LaSalle, and I want to say I probably had 2 other children, but by the time I graduated, and I worked in addictions medicine for some time after becoming a nurse practitioner.
So your backgrounds, both of you, it's impressive from a medical arena. You've had a variety of different kinds of medical experiences, which is wonderful.
Yes, yes. And of course, in addictions medicine, if you can kind of look at the translation between food is an addiction as well. So
yes.
with that being said, try to kind of like whatever I learned with that background, understanding that most things are behavioral, but there is a medicine component to help with those behaviors, that kind of translated into the world of weight loss management, obesity management.
So I'm thinking back to when I started my business years ago. It was video production, PR business. And there were quite a few people who kind of tried to discourage me. Oh, you're not going to be able to do that, or you're not going to make no money at that. Even my mother, because I actually ran my video business from my home, because wherever the video jobs were, that's where I went with my camera. So home was just where I would, do invoices and, keep stuff on the computer for my clients and maybe a little bit of limited editing. But I was out in the field. Ultimately, the business felt like it was starting to overtake my home. And I said, I need a place for my business. And I went and I got a brick and mortar business location. And my mother, she was against that. She was like, well, you're wasting your money, and I don't understand why you're doing it. And I wanted folks that were just going to cheer me on. And there were some who did that, but there were also those who doubted that I could do it. But I'm glad that I stuck to my vision and did what I did. So in your case, when you all said to your families or your friends or whoever, I'm going to open a medical weight loss clinic, what was the reaction? Each of you, give me a reaction from somebody close to you and what they said.
Well, I didn't tell too many people because I had the history of being counted out, having a kid so young. So I was like always secretive because I never wanted anyone to doubt me. I wanted to always prove that I can.
Yes.
By the time I do it, by the time you knew about it, I've done it. So I've only talked to Hafiza and now, well, my mom, and then now my husband. My at the time was my boyfriend, now my husband, and they were all encouraging. And it was, I stayed away from the possibility of any naysayer, although I had medical providers in the area who were against what was to come. I had them say it was something that we weren't supposed to do. There's the idea that nurse practitioners are not supposed to own clinics either. So that was a little bit of naysay, but I kind of avoided it because I knew that it could happen.
Yes, yes, yes. All right.
I'm pretty much a loner. Like I live in solitude. So with that being said, you know, very close knit family I have. So I may have told my sister, and that probably was about it. And I had much support from her. Other people that may have heard about it, I don't pay much attention because once I set out to do something and I put something in my brain, I know it's going to get done. Like I don't have a doubt in my mind that it won't be executed, and I never let someone else's thought process influence how I feel. So once I said, this is what's going to occur, execution. I'm big on action. I may not say much, but I'm big on action.
You don't necessarily talk about it, you are about it. Both of you. I love it. I love it. I love it. We are shining the spotlight today on our program on the WellZone Medical Weight Loss Clinic. And they're at the corner of 6643 Chew Avenue, right in the heart of Germantown. And, you know, they say location, location, location is everything with a business. Well, I don't know. I kind of think with your business, you could be on the top of the zoo and people would come because there are people like me who want to lose weight, to live healthier, to be healthier, maybe some folks just to look good, but will come. But I happen to love where your location is because that's right around the corner from me. And so I'm very, very happy about it. We're going to continue chatting with our very special guests who are both graduates of LaSalle University. They've earned their master's degrees here, and they'll come back in the second portion of the program. Now we're really going to get into the conversation about this whole weight loss thing. Like, you know, there's Oprah Winfrey, who lost a ton of weight, and she was on a similar kind of diet as to what we're going to be talking about today, and a number of other famous people are on that diet. And as I go around the city of Philadelphia, I see different women that I know who were heavier for years, and now they're looking good. So I think there's a lot more people that are on the diet, but who's telling the truth and being honest about it? I'm going to be honest when we come back. Stay with us.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems.
I've been driving a truck for 40 years now. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like that trucks can't stop quickly. It takes my 80,000-pound truck 200 yards to come to a complete stop. So I always do my best to give a lot of cushion. It helps when other drivers realize that and do the same. Please give trucks the space we need so we can all stay safe. It's our roads, it's our safety.
We live in a country that incarcerates its own people more than any other nation in the world.
The individual can age out of crime. He or she, 9 times out of 10, is no longer thinking like he or she once thought when they were 18. This is a good time to have a second look for everyone. We have 50 years of data that proves to us emphatically that the old way of doing things no longer works.
Hey, I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agreed, the scammers are out of control.
Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work and it's great. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to CISA.gov/secure our world.
Glad to be with you back at LaSalle TV, and today on News You Can Use, I decided I wanted to take the whole program to really shine the spotlight on two outstanding graduates who earned their master's degrees from LaSalle University. And today they are co-owners, proud owners of the WellZone Medical Weight Loss Clinic. It's in Germantown on 2 Avenue. It's actually at 6643 2 Avenue, and I'm so glad to have Jade Lee with me and also Hafisa Salam. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So you all are both nurse practitioners by training, and that's what you earned after coming through the LaSalle University degree program. And you all decided to open this medical weight loss clinic. And I love that it is in an accessible community, and you actually have more than one location. We'll get to that, we'll get to that. But let's talk about this medical weight loss clinic. I'll start with myself. I am someone who goes to the WellZone Medical Weight Loss Clinic. And I started going there mainly because of my arthritis problem. This time last year, and I remember this perfectly clear because WURD radio station is observing their Founders Day celebration on October the 11th, 2024. A year ago, they had their Founders celebration, and I did not go, and I wanted to go, and I sat home and I cried like a baby because both knees, arthritis had come to visit in both knees. That's the first time ever it's happened that way. Usually when I have arthritis, it's only one knee or the other knee. I have it in both knees, but not together. Well, it came together. I was using a cane to get around, and I felt so sorry for myself, and I didn't want to really go out in public a lot because everybody's coming up to me, Thera, what's wrong? You okay? And all of that. And I just felt like to go to the Founders Day event was just going to draw attention to me, and it wasn't about me. It was about Word Founders Day and Dr. Walter Lomax and celebrating him, not me. So I said, just stay home. But I felt sorry for myself. And it was at that time, and I said, you know what, I got to do something about this. The weight that I'm carrying, because I had gained weight, it was too much with the knees and giving me a lot of trouble. When I started with you all, seriously working with you all and doing what you said to do from April of 24 to the time we're taping this show, which this show was recorded on October the 7th of 2024. I've lost somewhere between 30, 35 pounds, about 35 pounds now. And I haven't used a cane since, I don't know, since right around the time when I started with the diet with you. So thank you, ladies. I love you both. You've given me a new lease on life. I feel better. For me, it wasn't so much about, oh, I want to be skinny and I want to be a size 1, because I don't want to be a size 1 ever again in life. But I want to be healthier. And I couldn't seem to do it on my own, the old-fashioned way of just exercising and pulling back from the table and not eating a bunch of junk and stuff. I needed help. And so my daughter found out about you all, and it was working for her. She said, Mom, you gotta come meet my girls. And that's how it started. And it's been a wonderful journey for me. And I'm not a selfish person. That's why I want to share my story and share their story with other people who want to seriously lose weight and need help doing it. Because you, like me, tell the truth, you can't do it by yourself, right?
Right.
So talk about what this particular diet is. I always tell people, it's like the Oprah Winfrey diet. That's my introductory thing of what I say to people, but I'm gonna let you all talk now.
When it comes to, are you speaking of semaglutide and tirzepatide?
Yes.
I want to say about 2 years ago, I took a look into a little bit of research, and the research was showing that patients that had gastric bypass surgery versus clients or patients that were using GLP-1 meds, semaglutide, tirzepatide, lost the same amount of weight. And I said, you know, that will cut down on the invasiveness of surgery, for one. And
do I want to get cut open,
safe,
or do I want to take a needle or a shot?
Yes.
Cut open or needle or shot.
And much safer route. And I want to say my daughter was probably one of the first clients to undergo treatment with semaglutide, and I literally watched her lose 40 pounds in 4 months effortlessly without the recommended diet or exercise. So I would tell most of the clients that if you do this without exercising or eating a balanced meal, just imagine if you
really
utilize.
behave.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's those medicines, you're not looking to be on them for a lifetime. It's just a tool until you're able to view food as something that sustains you, not as not as something that it tastes good. We're supposed to just eat because we want a good life. We want to be able to have energy, you know, not just because how well something tastes.
I have a feeling that all my weight gain concerns came overnight, between 7 o'clock at night and 10:30 at night, munching, snacking, watching television. I'm a television addict. I love television, and I love to snack, and that's what was doing it for me. But once I came to you all, we got all that straight.
So we don't just prescribe medications. We are nurse practitioners, so we understand that diet, exercise also plays a part. We provide a lot of instruction, and we take each person's case, case by case, and it's a personalized experience. We do counsel about stopping meals 2 hours before bedtime, and a lot of what you just discussed. The medications help with that as well.
Yes.
Sometimes people need to see something happening before they buy into the lifestyle change.
Yes.
And sometimes it's the medication before the diet and exercise, but then it all comes together. It's a plan.
Yep.
And everybody has their own individualized plan.
And I feel sometimes accountability plays a huge role. It's not like people can't do these things independent of WellZone, but it's something when someone comes.
It's something about going in there and getting weighed every week. Like, oh.
Absolutely, and it's a way weekly to reset. Sometimes you can just reset your intentions on, you know, maybe I didn't have such a good week, but I'm starting afresh this week, or I'm starting anew this week.
It's also it's the well zone, but to me it's also a no shame zone, because that's the other thing. There's definitely been weeks when you weighed me and I weighed the same thing that I did the week before. Then when I be honest and tell you, well, I actually did go to Dunkin' Donuts twice last week, and I did cheat a little bit.
Welcome that honesty.
You know, but you never, even when I'm confessing, you don't make me feel like, oh, well, you need to get on out of this office and we won't see you no more. You're never like that, always encouraging. So that's cool too.
WellZone, we pride ourselves on having a culture, and there's a culture of wellness. There's a culture of being able to be vulnerable, and a culture of humility, and we have an appreciation for that. We see ourselves as a community. We are a community of change makers. We change lives at WellZone, and if you come in at any given time, if there's a lobby full, it's not a lobby full of people huffing and puffing. Like, when am I going to get back there? Even the clients connect with one another.
Talk to each other.
Talk to each other. Share differences and similarities and life journeys. And sometimes someone will meet another client in the lobby, and now they're exercising together.
Yes, all of that.
And that accountability that you speak of, we see our clients frequently. We encourage phone calls if there's ever any question. So we see clients weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. So they're like family to us.
Yeah. Well, you have a very professional office. I love your office, located at 6643 Chew Avenue. Always do meet wonderful people there. And your staff, the young lady at the front desk, her name starts with an S, right?
There's Kaya. And
Kaya, it's Kaya. That's the one that I usually see, and just so warm and gracious when you walk in, and just so the whole experience is positive. And real quick, I'll say I about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, I went to another weight loss place in Philadelphia, and I felt like I was on a cattle call. You could be in that office for an hour before you're seen, and then when you're finally seen, about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes if you're lucky. And that is not the experience you get at the WellZone. You talk to us, you really care, and you demonstrate that you care. I can ask about your daughter, Mahar, and the rest of the family, and talk about you and what you're doing with your family. And the same back at us. How's your daughter? Where's Danielle at? Stuff like that. And we appreciate all of that. Please give your website and give a phone number too.
Yes, we are, our number is 833-WellZone, which is 833-935-9663. And our website?
www.wellzonemedicalweightloss.com. We're also on Instagram, WellZone Medical Weight Loss.
And I want to note the fact that just because this is an African-American woman-owned business does not mean that you only have African-American clients. I see all kinds of people, different nationalities coming in your offices and
Very
smiling
diverse.
and just as happy as I am and seeing results and all of that. So you serve anyone and everyone who has a vision and wants to lose weight. Men too. There was a man, and we of course will not say his name, but you have some success stories with a couple of men that really had some weight on them that they had to really work to lose. And yeah.
Sometimes with men, you see that they lose a little bit faster than women because they have muscle mass.
Okay.
But yes, what I have loved to experience over the years, that it isn't just one genre. It's more than obesity doesn't just affect women. It just, you know what I'm saying? We see peds as well, 13 and older, men. So with that being said, like I said, obesity is an epidemic that hits.
I want to give you these flowers.
my
Pass
thank
those over to your partner.
Thank
and
you.
I'm passing some over for you.
Thank you, thank you,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
you so much. My daughter appreciates you so much. And I think there's 1,000 other people in Philadelphia or more who could say the same thing. We didn't get to all the locations. You have more than one location in Philadelphia, but if people go to the website, say that website again.
WellZoneMedicalWeightLoss.com.
Okay, one more time.
WellZoneMedicalWeightLoss.com.
And it's up on the screen too. I want to thank you ladies so much for being with me. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you for all the
Thanks
good
for
care.
having us.
I'm going to keep working on being healthier so that I don't have to walk around with a cane ever again. All right, that just about does it for this edition of News You Can Use. And these pink flowers that are on the set today, they're here because I am celebrating the life of some of my friends who are no longer with us, who passed away from breast cancer. The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so ladies in particular, men too, check your boobs and make for sure that you're okay. And if you've not yet registered to vote, you have until October the 21st to do it. Voter registration ends October the 21st at 5 p.m. And we want every able-bodied person that is of the right age, 18 or older, to make for sure you vote on Election Day. Election Day is Tuesday, November the 5th. We got to vote like our lives depend on it, because it does. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.